What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 27, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Today, we are going to be going over my Week 1 QB rankings. They are finally here. The preseason is finally over. We are almost to the NFL kickoff here on Thursday. I cannot wait, guys. And before we dive into it here, if you have any comments, questions, anything fantasy football, drop them in the comments below. I'm here to answer any question to help you guys win your fantasy football leagues. And of course, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support has been appreciated since I started this YouTube journey. You guys have been amazing. And let's dive into it. So here is my board, guys. You are going to see the ballers tier at the top. These are my superstars. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5. I'm going to go through all 32 teams here. I'm going to give you a little breakdown of their offense, new weapons gamed, how it's changed from last year, their points per game last season, and the PFF defensive rank. Shout out to Pro Football Focus, that the defense they're going up against, and if they're away or on the road, obviously, which I think matters a tiny bit in each fantasy matchup. So, to start it off here, and God, my voice has been just so hoarse, so bear with me here. I'm going to try and get through it all in one video. Not going to try and take any breaks here. We're going to go one shot through this whole thing, and let's dive into it here. The first quarterback, my number one ranked quarterback in Week 1 is Josh Allen, who seems to be the most underrated freaking player to draft this season. I don't understand how he's going in round 4. It makes no sense. I know he's lost Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, but I don't think that matters much at all this season. This man can backpack a team by himself. He averaged 24.2 points per game last season. He still gets Keon Coleman in the draft. They bring in Curtis Samuel to get back with Joe Brady back in the Panther days, so they have a little connection there. Khalil Shakir to go with Dalton Kincaid. I mean, I'm so high on James Cook this year. Ray Davis to back him up. And they get the Arizona Cardinals defense Week 1. What else can you not love right here? The Arizona Cardinals defense is ranked 32nd in the NFL, and they don't have a single player besides Budda Baker that is ranked over 80 in PFF defensive ranks. This defense is going to get torched all year, and Josh Allen is going to light it up the first week for over his average last year of 24.2 points. I'm going to say about 26, 27 range, and that's the floor. So I could see a 30-point banger in Week 1 for him easily. My second quarterback, number 2, is going to be Jalen Hurts. And I know this is a huge game. Friday Night Football lights. You get the Eagles, the Packers, and Jalen Hurts is now getting Kellen Moore as his offensive coordinator. So you are going to see A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. They trade for Jahan Dotson, and they bring in Saquon Barkley, moving at a top 5 pace. I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts is going to be in my top 3 all season long just because I'm so high on what this offense is going to look like. The Green Bay Packers defense does rank about 17th. There's a couple of sites where you see 18, 19th, but I'm going to, average it out at 17th, stick with PFF. And it's a lot better than last year, but I feel like the Friday night game is going to be like a slow start game for some reason because these teams are so worried about winning this game because it's huge for playoff implications. And I could see it being a slow start game, but I feel like Jalen Hurts' rushing ability, push, still going to happen a little bit here and there. And he's still going to be my number 2 quarterback on the week. Heading into number 3, the guy I'm so high on, I'm not going to stop now. Anthony Richardson gets the Houston Texans defense at home. The Texans defense ranks 11th overall. Now, Anthony Richardson last season played 2 games or 2.5 or 2 games and a quarter, you could say. So he averaged 22 points in those first 2 games. And in the game where he got hurt in the first quarter, he already had 17 points in the first quarter. Could have dropped a 40 bomb. His rushing upside is ridiculous. The massive size that he's even put on this year, the man looks like he's bigger than the lineman when he snaps the football. It's ridiculously crazy. Now they bring in Adonai Mitchell. Josh Downs, we don't know if he's going to be back or not. They still have Michael Pittman. They lose Jelani Woods at tight end, which we don't even know who's going to start at tight end anyway, so you're going to see Kylan Granson out there. But you also have a top 3 offensive line, and now Jonathan Taylor is going to be back and rumbling. This offense is going to be very hard to stop. Whatever you saw in the preseason with his first drive that looked good and the next 2 didn't, you got to remember that the stars aren't out there. You don't even have Jonathan Taylor out there. You don't know what the RPO looks like, and he never ran once in the preseason. Do not be worried. This man is going to rush for 1,000 yards this year, and I'm so high on him. Number 4 ranked in Week 1 is going to be Patty Mahomes, and we're going to do both here. I'm going to do Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson because this is Thursday Night Football, first game of the year, and they are my 4 and 5 ranked quarterbacks heading into the week. This game right here, I mean, the NFL, God, they know how to put on a goddamn show, right? Let's just line up Mahomes, Lamar, Pacheco, Henry, Kels, Andrews, Zay, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown will be out. They bring in Juju Smith-Schuster. You're going to see the speedster and Xavier Worthy. I mean, this is going to be an electric game, and I think it's going to be more high scoring than people think. So the Chiefs defense ranks 10th. The Ravens ranks 2nd. But again, these are two quarterbacks where pretty much defense proof in fantasy football. You could say it matters a little bit here and there, but not really to me. And this is the game. God, I cannot wait to watch this game to start the season. Bring the season here already. Can we just fast forward time? But we got to wait a little bit here. Now, heading into my 6th quarterback here in my ballers tier, and I'm going to tell you why I'm higher on him than other people are in their rankings. Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray just in his career has just averaged 20 points every single year he's played football, right? Never had Marvin Harrison. Trey McBride emerged last season. James Conner was kind of banged up towards the end. Now, this defense, like I said, ranks 32nd. It is very, very bad. They are going to have to score to keep up with any team and try and be anywhere near competitive this season. Now, the Bills defense does rank 9th. But I am not worried about a defense being ranked in the top 10 against Kyler Murray with his ability to run, having Marvin Harrison Jr. take the top off, having Trey McBride across the middle. He even has Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch as a couple little weapons that people don't even know about how good they are. This offense is going to be flying. Cliff Kingsbury, he's not even there. But I cannot wait to see this offense. I'm super excited to see Kyler Murray out there healthy. He played last year with 18.9 points per game coming off the ACL in Week 10. Imagine what this man is going to do healthy. So that's it for the baller tier, guys. Heading down to tier 1, we're going to start with C.J. Stroud. So C.J. Stroud put on a rookie just phenom year last year, averaged 18.7 points per game. Now, that was also, Tank Dell was hurt last year. You have to remember this as well. They didn't have a Joe Mixon type running back that they brought in. So you now have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and a top 10 wide receiver in Stephon Diggs for the past 7 to 8 years to go along with Dalton Schultz and Joe Mixon. This offense is going to be electric. I know his rushing upside is what capsizes him in fantasy football because he doesn't rush that much. But I think firmly, because this offensive line is not that great, that he will be a pocket passer, kind of, bury the V in the middle, and he's so good at passing out the pocket with these receivers. They're going to be unstoppable. And again, they're going to score so many points that the team they're playing against is going to have to keep up, which is why Anthony Richardson I have so high this week as well. My quarterback 8, we're going to stick right with the Jalen Hurts right below him. Friday night, again, Packers, Eagles here. I'm to Jordan Love, I'm almost willing to put in the baller tier. I just got to see how it looks with all their receivers. So their weapons are crazy this year. They go and get Josh Jacobs. Big upgrade from Aaron Jones. I don't care what anyone says. Josh Jacobs was buried last year by the Raiders in stacked boxes. He faced the number 1 most stacked boxes. Now, you can't stack the box against the Packers, man. So they're going to have Jaden Reed. They're going to have Christian Watson. We don't know if the hammy's going to hold up or not. We're praying it does. If it does, he might be a massive steal in fantasy football. Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Musgrave, Kraft. The weapons are insane for Jordan Love this season. He's the one guy that I almost threw up there, to fit 7 in the first row and make it smaller, but it's tough, so I'm gonna leave him at 8 for now. They do get the Eagles defense, which does rank only 18th this year, that was kind of crazy to me. I thought they'd be in the top 15, but they're right there on the edge. But this game, again, this is going to be an electric shootout game of offenses. Their defenses aren't that great combined together, and I cannot wait to see this game happen. QB9 is going to be, I'm going all out, baby. JD5, Jaden Daniels. This man has looked so, I know it's just the preseason, but he has looked so good in the preseason that it's absolutely bonkers to me. His completion percentage has been 80% in the preseason. And these are bombs. He wasn't just throwing dink and dunk 5-yard passes. He's hitting Diami Brown down the field. He's hitting McLaurin down the field. He's hit Sanat across the middle, and he looks damn good, and his rushing upside is massive. And here's the crazy part, right? So all they have is Terry McLaurin right now. We don't know if they get Brandon Ayuk. Good Lord, it's going to be the sky is the limit for JD5. I hope he stays with the Niners. Being a Niner fan, obviously you can see behind me, right? But the offensive line here is the worrisome part, but that's why they bring in JD5 and Cliff Kingsbury, right? A top 5 paced offense, keep the defense on their heels, and Jaden Daniels can use his legs and get out electrically across anywhere, man. Look at this guy run. He ran for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns at LSU. He's going to light it up this season. I cannot wait to see this man play. Quarterback number 10 in tier 1 is going to be Jared Goff, and it's absolutely crazy to me how low this man is drafted. So Jared Goff last season finishes as quarterback 15 with 17.8 points per game, right? That's in points per game. He was QB7 overall, but this is points per game average I'm using. Now, he gets all his weapons back. Nothing is gone. You have now a breakout player in Jamison Williams that everyone thinks is going to emerge as this crazy breakout. Yeah, I'm not as high on it, but has he looked electric? Yes. He even scored a touchdown against my 49ers in the playoffs with his little reverse. I mean, he looks like he can do it. It's just I want to see it on the field. And they even bring in Tim Patrick in free agency yesterday to help out with their wide receiver 3 and 4 sets to go along with Khalif Raymond. And you got the tight end 1 and Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra, the wide receiver 3. And Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty, who can both be a top 10 duo running back. And here's what you have to know. Why is so good drafting Jared Goff? They get 14 out of 18 games in a dome this season. It is going to be the Lions show 24/7, and he is massively, massively undervalued in fantasy football, and it blows my mind. Number 11, catch my breath. We went through 10. I'm going to get to Caleb Williams here. Now, I can't lie here. I was a little lower on Caleb Williams coming out, scouting the tape. I mean, it's all electric. I was more worried about diva-ness and however he is. Let's throw that out the window. This man has looked incredible. I know it's the preseason. You're not playing against the ones, but there's no better first matchup or better landing spot that a number 1 pick could ever walk into in NFL history that I've ever known of, right? You're going to get Keenan Allen, free agency. They draft Rome Odunze with the 9th pick. You have DJ Moore, who was wide receiver 6 last year. Cole Kmet, who was tight end 7. They bring in DeAndre Swift to go along with Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert. Might be a rotating backfield. Offensive line and the defense for the Bears both rank in the top 15. I mean, good Lord. This man better produce. He better ball out. And he gets the Tennessee Titans in week 1. The Titans defense is atrocious, folks. It ranks 29th. It is just like talking about the Cardinals. It is going to be very, very bad. And I almost threw him in the top 10 because he's at home for this game too. It's like they set everything up for Caleb Williams. Just perfect. Let me give you a home game with one of the worst defenses, with every offensive piece you could possibly want as the number 1 pick, and let's just make you look like a superstar right away is exactly what I think is going to happen. Now, heading down to tier 2 here, quarterback 12, Joe Burrow. And why? The only reason I have Joe Burrow in tier 2 right now is because we don't know the Jamar Chase situation. Jamar Chase went to practice finally Sunday, showed up for the first time. He was on the sideline, for weeks before that, holding out his contract with 2 years still on his contract, which is kind of crazy. I think he should do it next year and get the bag. But we'll see how that goes. So if Jamar Chase is there, obviously I'm moving Joe Burrow up into tier 1. Let's be honest. They still have T. Higgins. They bring in Mike Gesicki. They have Yoshi and Jermaine Burton fighting for a wide receiver 3 spot. And you have Eric All, who's one of my secret sleeper tight ends from Iowa that was torn ACL, or else he'd have been a top 2 round pick coming out of the draft. And I can't wait to see what he can do out there. Now, why the Bengals offense is going to be so electric this season is because their defense, like I said, is like the Arizona Cardinals. It's like the Tennessee Titans. It is bottom of the barrel. They are going to have to score points to keep up with people. And if Joe Burrow stays healthy, this offense is going to be absolutely electric. And they get the Patriots week 1. We all know the Patriots aren't winning many games. The Patriots defense ranks 23rd. This is going to be a Joe Burrow lights out game. The scary part is I think they can win this game without Jamar Chase, which is another reason why I have Joe Burrow lower. But I still think he will light it up even if Jamar Chase is not there week 1. And they'll figure out a way to get Chase out there, around week 2 or 3 if that's how it plays out. But I hope he signs goddamn today, man. Quarterback 13, Tua Tagovailoa, is going up against the Jags, the 13th ranked defense. Now, I mean, Tua is just like CJ Stroud to me, right? So this man can throw for 400 yards a game. He can throw for 300 average a game with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And now OBJ is on the pup here for the first 4 weeks. So you're going to get to see the rookie Malik Washington, which is going to be nice because he's another speedster. They bring in Jonnu Smith, a talented tight end, way more than Durham Smythe from last year. Another guy that could break loose. And you have Raheem Mostert and my guy, Devon Achane. Devon Achane is about to explode this season. I've been calling it all year that he's going to be the number 1 player on the most championship roster teams this season. And I cannot wait to see this offense. I mean, who doesn't like the points that they score? But he doesn't have a high rushing upside. And once they get a lead, they like to pound the run a little bit. This is why Mostert had 21 TDs last year, which is why with Tua, he's kind of a middle-tier quarterback to me because this offense skews a lot towards scoring a lot of points, but then they score a lot of rushing touchdowns. So I'm going to keep Tua in tier 2 right in the middle. And we're going to head on down here to quarterback number 14. We're going to stick with the same game. I should have just brought them both up. T-Law going up against the Dolphins. And man, the Dolphins defense is going to be good this year, folks. So the Dolphins defense ranks 6th. They're going to be nasty. They're going to get after you. And they're going to have leads where they can just tee off on the quarterback, which is going to be scary. And Trevor Lawrence got one of my favorite weapons in the NFL draft in Brian Thomas Jr. This man's relative athletic score could have been number 1 of all time. He is disgusting. He has looked so good in the preseason. He is one of my bullish targets in every single draft I'm in this year. And let me explain. Well, I don't want to talk too much on Brian Thomas because, Calvin Ridley's gone. He could take that spot. But they have Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, who I firmly believe the offense is going to run through to about the second half of the season. Travis Etienne being back, looks unbelievable this year, even better than last year. And I cannot wait to see what Etienne's going to do. And they're going to have to score points here to keep up with Miami, right? Which is like every team. So you're going to need probably about a 28-point average, to keep up with the Dolphins. You're probably going to score 30 points a game this year. And this game is going to be one of my funnest games to watch week 1 on Sunday, and I cannot wait to see it. Quarterback 15 in tier 2. Dak Prescott. And why I have Dak so low, I know CeeDee Lamb just got signed. Thank God there. So all the drafters can finally take a huge breath after that one. So here's the problem is they get the Cleveland Browns. And the Cleveland Browns is my number 1 ranked defense, but it is PFF's number 4 ranked defense. And they're going at Cleveland. The dog pound is going to be absolutely rocking. And the weapons are just weird for me for the Cowboys right now, and why I'm a lot lower on them than most people. So you do have CD, right? Top 3 wide receiver. Get that. I love Jake Ferguson. He's my favorite tight end to build around in every draft this year. But you have old man Brandon Cooks, who already banged his knee a little bit. Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks. They both think they're going to break out, but the wide receiver 3's never broken out. And the Cowboys, let's be real. And your running backs are Rico Dowdle, Ezekiel Elliott, and you're looking at Dalvin Cook in free agency. They say he's going to be a practice squad player, nothing there. But they lose Tyron Smith and Biadasz. Their offensive line is not a top 3 offensive line unit. It was, yes, it's still manageable. It's still about a 12 to 15 line around there. But it's going to be a different look. It could be a full Dak splash attack, but this game could get rough for the Cowboys. I almost even put Dak lower because this Browns defense is so nasty, and I'm worried about this offensive line and how it's going to look for the Cowboys in week 1. The end of tier 2 is Mr. Irrelevant, my guy, Brock Purdy, the 49ers QB. Now, the problem here is they get the Jets on Monday Night Football. And just like I was saying with Dak, yes, both these defenses are absolutely nuts. The Jets defense is lights out, ranked number 3. Just like I was saying with Dak in the Browns game. I have the Browns number 1. I have the Jets number 2. So I'm a little different on those two teams. So Purdy last season did average 19.2 points. We don't know what's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk yet, which is a weapon lost. But the key factor here isn't just Brandon Ayuk. It is the Hall of Fame first ballot best left tackle in football, Trent Williams, that is holding out as well. This defense, if Trent Williams is not out there to protect his blind side, is going to tee off on Brock Purdy. This could be a very ugly game, just like Dak. I was saying, this is why I have them side by side here in the middle instead of being top tiers, is because the defenses they play and the situation that's happening. And I'm very, very worried if Trent Williams is not out there week 1 for the Niners. Heading down to tier 3 here. I cannot believe this guy goes off the draft boards at round like 13 and 14 in drafts. It is Justin Herbert. Gets the Raiders, division rivalry game, week 1. I know you lose Keenan Allen, you lose Mike Williams. Austin Eckler is gone. It looks like his weapons are shot. Don't fully buy into that yet. They do have a very, very, very sneaky rushing upside with Jim Harbaugh as the coach, with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. If J.K. Dobbins can ever stay healthy, he's one of those guys that I'm willing to take a risk on around 10 or 11 this year. But they still have Josh Palmer and Lab McConkey. I am so high on playing out of the slot this season. It's ridiculous. I cannot stop drafting this man. And I firmly believe that people are like, oh, this offense, it's going to be a ground and pound, run attack. Yeah, you're going to be a lot of running, but you got to be winning the game to run the ball at the end. And I don't know how many games I see the Chargers really winning this year. So he's one of those sneaky draft picks where he still has rushing upside too. I know he's got his little foot injury. He seems to be fine now. He'll be back week 1. But I don't really like that the chemistry was lost in the, camp time as well, with Lab McConkey being a rookie. Josh Palmer does have that, experience with him. But I love this. I love this pick in drafts. I just want to see it play out. So for now, I'm going to leave him at 17. Heading into quarterback 18 in tier 3, it is going to be Matthew Stafford. Now, the Rams just again traded their best defensive player. This defense may be worse than the Cardinals. This has to be the 31st, 32nd ranked defense, no matter what. I know Stafford is older. He doesn't have the rushing upside, and they get the Lions to start week 1, and the Lions defense did get better. They went from about bottom of the tier, like 20th, 24th last year. Now they're ranked 15th. Okay. But you're going to go at the Dome. He knows the Lions whole stadium. Used to play for the Lions. It's a revenge game. And the plus side is, like I said, their defense is so bad that you're going to get to see Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, even Colby Parkinson get involved, possibly Jordan Whittington, who's been balling out in the preseason. I mean, they're going to have to score to keep up with everybody. And the Lions, this game could be very, very high scoring. And I could have Matthew Stafford ranked too low in week 1 right here. But again, his rushing upside does keep him lower for me with his older age. They're going to want to protect him. But, man, this could be a shootout game where you see fantasy points just fly because the Rams defense is terrible, folks. Number 19, the impressive Ben Grubb, offensive coordinator, now part of Seattle Seahawks. They have looked so good in the preseason. It's crazy. I fully expect Jay Season to break out. I like that they still have old man Tyler Lockett there. They have Noah Fant. They have Kenneth Walker, who's about to go bananas this season. If you're not drafting Kenneth Walker, fix your life. Go draft Kenneth Walker. This man should be going in the 3rd round of drafts 100%. And they get the Denver Broncos week 1. The Denver Broncos defense is, again, another bottom of the tier, ranked 26th, 27th defense. Not very good at all. And the Broncos offense, I don't care what anyone says about a preseason game. Yeah, Bo Nix has looked good. Their offense is going to be trash versus actual good teams. Let's be honest. They never face the ones. I mean, this is like a 5-star matchup here for Geno Smith to start the season. And just like Matthew Stafford, his rushing upside is a little limited with age. He's a little older. But again, this could be a game where they score a ton early and it becomes a run game. This is why I'm keeping Geno Smith lower here, because I firmly have them blowing out the Broncos easy. Quarterback 20, Deshaun Watson. So this is the sneaky draft pick of the year that none of us can really peg down, right? I have him ranked 20 this season in tier 3. He does go up against the number 1 ranked defense, but that number 1 ranking should be dropped a little bit with Deron Bland being out 6 to 8 weeks. And he was their pick 6 guy that scored him all their touchdowns last year. Fresno State, alumni shout out. But Deshaun Watson, if he shows up and wants to play football, everything is here. It's all right in front of him. You have Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku. Solid set. Jerome Ford, Nick Chubb on the pup. Looks like he's going to miss the first 4 games. They just cut Deontay Foreman yesterday, which was nuts to me. So you're going to see Pierre Strong back there. Little, scat back kind of look. But they have a top 3 offensive line and a top 3 defense, which I, again, rank number 1. Everything is here for Deshaun Watson. He just needs to show up to play football. I know they get the Cowboys week 1 at home. But again, I'm not that scared of the Cowboys this year. I think the Browns should roll this game. And man, their team is so good. It just comes down to Deshaun Watson playing football again like it's the Texans, back in the day. And I will put this guy higher. I just need to see the work ethic from him translate to the field. Number 21, Kirk O. Cousins. Now, Kirk Cousins, if you want to look at it this way, Kirk Cousins averaged 19.3 points per game last season, which would have put him at quarterback 7 till the Achilles injury, which is why I have him, and let's just go through, I'll put them both out here. Aaron Rodgers, so low, and it looks like I don't even have a picture. Do I not have a picture for Aaron Rodgers right now? Tell me this is not real in a live video. Well, I don't think I have it on here. I'm going to have to grab one mid-video while we're talking here. I'll type it out. So, Kirk Cousins now gets Drake London. Now gets Kyle Pitts. And people are like tripping out on this. Oh, Kyle Pitts, I'm going to put him at 27 here. Kyle Pitts has never done it. Dude, Kyle Pitts has never had a quarterback, okay? Period. Now, Kirk Cousins has fed every tight end he's had. You get Bijan Robinson. You get Tyler Algier. You get a great offensive line. You get the number 1 schedule. Their defense picks up great free agents the past 2 weeks to raise their defense into the top 15. I mean, everything is here for the Falcons. It is absolutely crazy to me. Now, the thing, which is why I put Aaron Rodgers out here as well, is that they're both 35 plus. Aaron is 40, and they're both coming off Achilles injuries. We don't have a lot of information on Achilles injuries for quarterbacks. It's very rare. So I'm going to temper their expectations. I do think both these guys can absolutely ball out this season. I mean, no questions asked. 100%. They can ball out. But can they stay healthy? They're both playing fierce defenses. So you get Kirk Cousins getting the Steelers. That's the 7th ranked defense. You get Aaron Rodgers getting the 49ers, which is the 4th ranked defense according to PFF. All the weapons are there for both these guys. They both it's like an exact replica, right? Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Garrett Wilson. Now Kyle Pitts, I put over Tyler Conklin for sure, but the weapons are there. These guys are just older, coming off Achilles, so I am going to keep them lower. And they do face very, very, very tough defenses this year, which is bonkers to me. Quarterback 23 heading into tier 4. We already talked about Aaron Rodgers. That was my fault. I didn't have a picture up there of Aaron Rodgers. That's on me. Is Baker Mayfield. Baker Brown Mayfield. Now, the thing I'm worried about here, this is a great matchup. You get the Washington Commanders. This is one of the worst defenses as well. Now, Baker Mayfield, the question I have here is Liam Cohen coming in as the new offensive coordinator and then losing Dave Canales. Dave Canales is the QB whisperer, which has saved Geno Smith's career, then saved Baker Mayfield's career, and now he's headed to the Panthers to save Bryce Young's career. Now, Baker Mayfield still has all the same weapons. They did get a year older. You have Mike Evans, 31, Chris Godwin, 27. I firmly believe Godwin's going to have a big year. I like K-Dot in that tight end as a little, floor play, not breakout player, but decent enough tight end. It's not bad. Rashad White to go along with Bucky Irving. And you're getting the 31st ranked defense in the Commanders. This could be a smash play here. I just, like I said with Matt Stafford, I feel like this is a low ranking for Baker Mayfield. especially with the matchup he has. But I'm just worried about how the offense is going to look. I want to see it first with the new offensive coordinator, see how the wheels are turning, and see what I can break down out of that before I put him up higher. But the matchup is very good. Like if you're a daily fantasy football player, this is a smash quarterback value right here this week. Number 25 in tier 4 is one of my breakout candidates in Will Levis. This is a whole new look Titans offense, right? So Will Levis got the reins last year at the end. Didn't have a lot around him. Has a massive body, 6'4", rushing upside. Now you get Calvin Ridley to go along with DeAndre Hopkins. They throw Tyler Boyd in there. They still have Treylon Burks. They have Chig, but they go out and get Tony Pollard to go along with Tyjae Spears. And why did they go get Tony Pollard? Because Tony Pollard was super undervalued coming off an injury last year, and he looks so goddamn good this year. Looks like he's back to full health, Tony Pollard. And you're going to get to see this offense for the first time, not in a Derrick Henry-led offense. So it's going to look totally different. You're not going to see the ground and pound run game. This is why Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears, you're going to see split running backs sometimes, because they're going to be split backs. Like Tony Pollard can hit the holes. Yeah, he's not a big guy, but he can hit the holes. They get the Bears. Bears defense is top 15. It's very nice. I think the top 15 is really low for the Bears. I think they are a top 10 defense in my opinion. But Will Levis, if this guy can put it together like I think he can, and their offensive line is really shaky as well. They have like one returning starter, but they got Latham in the draft. JC, I like that a lot. But if he can put it together like I think he can be a sneaky quarterback play weekly. Again, this is week 1, so I'm going to temper my hype for Will Levis because I like Will Levis a lot this season with the weapons around him. But I'm going to leave him here at 23 to start off. Number 24 is going to be Danny Dimes. And this is purely because the team he has played. They get the Minnesota Vikings defense, which ranks 22nd to start off. This man, God, he's looked so bad. His rushing upside is there. I know he's coming off injury. Gets Malik Neighbors to go along with Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, or Darius Slayton, whichever 3 they're going to put out there. Theo Johnson at tight end, Devin Singletary, and Tyrone Tracy, which was one of my huge sleepers till the injury. But he's still going to be out there playing. He's going to bounce back. But Danny Dimes, man, it's really tough to watch this guy throw the football. I don't want to put too much hate on Danny D, but he gets a good matchup week 1. But this is why I felt so bad for Malik Neighbors when he was drafted to the Giants, is because he'll see all the volume, probably 130 targets, 140 targets, but how many of them are going to be on target? This guy's been throwing picks, throwing balls in the dirt, and the Giants are even, having to back him up publicly, saying that they're supporting his contract. It's really rough in New York Giants, man. But I'm going to put him above these other quarterbacks just for the rushing upside. Quarterback 25 is going to be Gardner the Stash Minshew. Gets the starting job over Aiden O'Connell. And this one is sneaky, guys. So you still have the weapons. Everything is here for the Raiders, man. So the Raiders, let's start at the beginning before I get too hyped up here. They get the Chargers. Chargers defense ranks 24, not great. Gardner Minshew can splash, right? And every piece is here for the Raiders except the quarterback. And this team could be a dangerous team. And people just do not understand this. So when you have Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams getting doubled, superstar, like always, they even go get Brock Bowser to go along. No, Brock Bowers, but I call him Brock Bowser. But to go along with Michael Mayer, who they drafted last year, who is the number 1 tight end rank coming out of Notre Dame. They're going to run a lot of 12 personnel, which is 2 tight end sets. Zamir White is one of my favorite running backs. As Antonio Pierce, the head coach, loves to ground and pound the ball. Alexander Madison to back him up. Dylan Labe is a possible pass catching back. And Trey Tucker to take the top off. You've been watching Trey Tucker in the freaking preseason. I've been hyping this guy up, and it's coming to fruition. He's getting 60-yard bombs every game. It's just the quarterback. Gardner Minshew is serviceable, but do I think he's going to lead them far? No, but he could be a play weekly and definitely a super flex start if you play a super flex easy. All the weapons are here. Everything is here. It's just like one quarterback to get him over the hump, and they'd be there because I love the weapons here a lot. And I honestly think the Raiders might be a sneaky playoff team. Heading down to tier 5. That's it for tier 4, guys. Tier 5, we're going to start it off here with Sam Darnold. No, sorry. See, the A-Rod thing messed me up so bad here. Sam Darnold, tier 4. We're not done yet. My fault. This is what you get when you get a full video going straight through with no cuts. You're going to get some mistakes. I'm learning. So, see, I didn't even have Aaron Rodgers on here, which is killer. All right, so it's ending tier 4 here, Sam Darnold. Now, people are hating on this guy. You get the Giants, the 25th ranked defense. You're going to get Justin Jefferson. You're going to get Jordan Addison. Looks like the DUI, nothing will happen there. We haven't heard anything. TJ Hawkinson is on the pup. You get Aaron Jones in free agency to go along with Ty Chandler. Sam Darnold can sling it, guys. He's not that bad of a quarterback as everyone is bashing him to be. And I think in this game, if he had a little rushing upside to him, he has a little bit, not a lot. If he had a lot more rushing upside to him, I would have him higher because I think he's going to splash this game. And like I said with Baker Mayfield, this is one of those DFS starts that I absolutely love with Sam Darnold right here. But I'm going to put him at 26 for now because I haven't seen this offense fully out there versus the ones yet. Like I said, it is week 1. So 27 was Aaron Rodgers. We talked about him. I'm sorry I messed the graphic up there. Heading down finally to tier 5 after the little mess up is going to be Derek Carr. Now, why I have Derek Carr so low, there's a couple reasons here. They do get the Panthers defense. The Panthers defense is ranked 27th. They addressed all offense in the draft because Dave Canales, like I said, is an offensive-minded guru coach. So they're pretty much punting defense this year. The Saints can smash this game, but what's bothersome here is that their offensive line ranks 32nd, the worst offensive line in the league. Now, I also have Dennis Allen and Derek Carr on very, very hot seats to be fired and lose their jobs this season if the Saints do not win. With Chris Olave, A.T. Perry, Rashid Shaheed, Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, Juwan Johnson, the weapons are not bad. It just hasn't come to fruition, and I don't like the head coach around. I don't like the leadership. I don't like how it played out for Derek Carr, especially Fresno State. Shout out Fresno State again. Because Carr is my guy, and God, it's just painful. But I'm going to put him at 28, and I hope they win this game because if they lose this game, what I fear about the season could happen right away. I mean, God, dude, this could be really ugly for the Saints if they lose this game. Number 29, God, Russell Wilson, man. We don't even know who's going to start yet. The starter's not named. We all hope it's Justin Fields, right? But I know it's going to be Russell Wilson. So I'm going to put Russell Wilson up here. They get the Falcons defense. It's going to be rough in ATL at the Dome. They got a ton of new free agent pieces they picked up. And the Steelers have looked so bad in the preseason. Even Russell's looked bad. Fields has looked bad, completing passes to himself, throwing picks. Russell's looked sluggish. And they had all this hype that he was working out in the offseason, and Russell looks totally good. It's bad news bears for the Steelers in the quarterback situation right now. But they still get Pickens. They lose Deontay Johnson. They have Pat Freiermuth, who I like for a breakout. Jalen Warren's hamstring looks to be fine for week 1. Najee Harris is going to be out there. Their second receiver that they drafted, Roman Wilson, may be back week 1 with his injury. It could be Van Jefferson, the old vet. It could be Calvin Austin, a home run hitter. They had a great draft, but, man, the quarterback play does not look good right now, and I'm going to leave them at 29 till I see more. Number 30, Bryce Young. Now, like I was saying here with this game, so Bryce Young, Dave Canales, they are going to turn this around in ways that people do not understand. This is just a nightmare week 1 matchup for Bryce Young. So he's going at the Superdome. The Saints have a top 7 defense, or ranked number 8 on some sites, number 7 on other sites. They're going to get after this man very, very quickly. The Panthers' offensive line did get a little upgrade from last year, but it wasn't a lot. So I think they went from 28th to 24th. So a little better, quote unquote. But Dave Canales knows how to get the ball out quick. Look at the weapons around this guy now, what he did in the draft, right? So they go get Deontay Johnson in free agency. They bring in Xavier Legette. They have Adam Thielen, who was absolutely balling last year at the beginning. They get Jatavion Sanders out of Texas. They get Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. They give him all these weapons. Jonathan Brooks will be on the pup for the first 4 weeks. You will see Chuba Hubbard out there, possibly some Miles Sanders sprinkled in. But, man, if there could be a different matchup to start week 1, I would put Bryce Young higher. He's just going into a bad situation week 1. It's going to be a lights-out defense coming after him. But man, I really want to see the Panthers turn it around, and I want to rank him higher heading into next week. At 31, Bo Nix, the preseason rookie hype, man. Did he look good? Yes, he looked good. It is the preseason, guys. You got to temper it a little bit. You're playing against the 3s and the 4s. Denver's offense is going to be very bad, guys. I mean, Javonte Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin. I like Jaleel better than I like Javonte for points this season. People are tripping on Javonte Williams looking better in the preseason. I heard the same thing last year. I heard everything last year too. Now, Cortland Sutton is going to be a target hog out there. It's the only receiver they have. Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin. They just let Tim Patrick go. They got Greg Dulcich. The offensive line is terrible. The defense is terrible. It's going to be really rough for Bo Nix. Has he looked good in the preseason? Yes, but I think people need to pull the reins back a little bit because it is just the preseason, man. They're going to get week 1 at the 12th man in Seattle. It is going to be absolutely rocking. It's going to be a panic attack, bro. It's going to be, I think it's going to be really, really rough. So I'm going to leave him at 31 for now. And I don't want to bash the Broncos too much more. At 32, last but not least, and I hope he's named the starter. We don't even know yet. So it could be Jacoby Brissett. It should be Drake May. I don't know why they'd put a journeyman out there when your team's projected to win 4 to 5 games. You might as well see what you have in the talent, right? Now, the Patriots are going to be awful, guys. This may be his ranking spot all year. I know he has rushing upside out of North Carolina, and he can do that. Weapons are rough. Jalen Polk, Javon Baker is my hype guy. I've been on all year. Kendrick Bourne on the pup. KJ Osborne. I mean, Hunter Henry may be their focal point. Ramondre Stevenson, Alex Van Pelt is the OC, now supposed to run a zone scheme. Could be better there, but you got to be winning. Like I said with the Chargers, you got to win to run the football. Patriots, man. I want to see Drake May do good. I want him to start week 1. We don't know yet. I'm not going to say anything else about the Patriots. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough, man. And they get the Bengals. It's going to be rough for them week 1. So that is it. I made it through, even with the hoarse voice. Made a couple mistakes here with Aaron Rodgers. That was my fault, guys. So I'm going to finish it off for those listening and those that aren't watching on YouTube here. I went Josh Allen, baller tier number 1, Josh Allen, number 2, Hurts, number 3, Richardson, number 4, Mahomes, number 5, Lamar Jackson, number 6, Kyler Murray. Heading down to tier 1, CJ Stroud was number 7, Jordan Love was number 8, Jaden Daniels was number 9, Jared Goff was number 10, Caleb Williams was number 11. Tier 2, Joe Burrow was number 12, Tua was 13, Trevor was 14, Dak was 15, Brock was 16. Tier 3, Justin Herbert was 17, Stafford was 18, Geno was 19, Deshaun Watson was 20, Kirk Cousins was 21. Tier 4, Baker Mayfield was 22. 23 was Will Levis, 24 was Danny Dimes, 25 was Gardner Minshew, 26 was Sam Darnold, 27 was Aaron Rodgers. Tier 5, Carr was 28, Russell Wilson was 29, Bryce Young was 30, Bo Nix was 31, and Drake May was 32. That was it for episode 27, guys. My full QB1 rankings. Thank God I made it through that video, man. I hope my voice gets better. It has been absolutely terrible since I was sick last weekend. But as always, guys, if you guys have any fantasy football questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, I'm here to answer anything to help you guys win your championships. And as always, guys, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support is appreciated. My next video will be my running back rankings. That's the one you don't want to miss. And I will catch you guys in the next one, man. SleezBall out.